Hello viewers, good morning. Myself I am K. Bhaskar, Assistant Professor of Chemistry working at SRR Government Arts and Science College, Karimnagar. In this video, I am going to give a presentation on the topic organometallic compounds. You already know in our last video presentation we have covered certain topics in this organometallic compounds, that is the definition of organometallic compounds, nomenclature of organometallic compounds, types of organometallic compounds based on the nature of bond between the metal and carbon atom, and also we covered the preparation methods of organometallic compounds in our last video session. In continuation to the previous class, in this video presentation we are going to discuss about the properties of organometallic compounds, that is the synthetic uses of organometallic compounds, right? And we are also going to know about the other uses of organometallic compounds. As you know, generally in organic compounds, apart from the carbon and hydrogen atoms, we see heteroatoms like oxygen, sulfur and other halogen atoms. And these heteroatoms are more electronegative than the carbon atom. But whereas in organometallic compounds, our metal atom is less electronegative than carbon. Due to this difference, our organometallic compounds have characteristic properties which we will use them in the many organic applications, right? Coming to the learning outcomes, by the end of this session we will know the synthetic uses of organometallic compounds, the differences between the Grignard reagent and alkyl lithium, right? Just I am recollecting you the definition of organometallic compounds in this slide. We already covered this in the last video presentation. What are organometallic compounds? These are the compounds in which a metal atom is directly attached to the carbon, which is a part of hydrocarbon. You can see in the image, the metal is attached to the carbon directly. Here the carbon is a part of hydrocarbon. Not only metals, the non-metals whose electronegativity less than the carbon will also form organometallic compounds. Here the condition is the metal or the non-metal should have less electronegativity and the carbon should be the part of hydrocarbon. There should be direct bond between the carbon and metal. Such compounds are called as organometallic compounds, right? And if you see here, generally in organic compounds we will see the heteroatoms like halogen, nitrogen, oxygen, sulfur. All these heteroatoms are more electronegative than carbon. Whereas in our organometallic compounds, the heteroatom is metal or the non-metal whose electronegativity is less than the carbon. Due to this, what happens? You know, the sigma bond between the carbon and more electronegative atom, what happens? According to the inductive effect, what is inductive effect? Inductive effect is nothing but the partial displacement of sigma bonded electrons towards more electronegative atom is called inductive effect. So in this, due to the difference in the electronegativity, the sigma bonded electrons will partially displace towards the more electronegative atoms like halogen, nitrogen, oxygen and sulfur. So thereby generally the positive charge will be generated on the carbon atom in the organic compounds. In majority of the organic compounds we will see positive charge on the carbon atom. But whereas in our organometallic compounds, due to the lesser electronegativity of the metal, the sigma bonded electrons are shifted towards the partially displaced towards the carbon atom. Thereby the carbon gets negative charge. This is the major difference between the organic compounds and the organometallic compound. In all the organic compounds, the carbon gets positive charge, whereas in our organometallic compounds, carbon gets negative charge. Right? So here just now we seen that organometallic compounds gets negative charge due to the molar electronegativity of the carbon atom. So thereby these organometallic compounds are nothing but they act as a very good source of carbon anion. They are very good source for carbon anion. And these carbon anion will behave like a base as well as nucleophile. Right? Any carbon anion will act as a base or nucleophile. Base means it will abstract the active hydrogens from the compounds. Nucleophile means this carbon anion will add on the double bonded compounds as a nucleophile. That means the carbon anion in the organometallic compounds will behave like a base and as well as nucleophile. Right? Before going into the details of the synthetic uses of organometallic compounds, here I would like to mention you one important thing, that is reagent. Always in organic reactions we use reagents. What are reagents? Reagents are nothing but chemical substances which are useful either for oxidation or reduction. Right? What are reagents? Reagents are chemical substances useful to introduce the functional groups or interconvert the functional groups in the given reactant. Of course, these reagents are also useful in CC bond formation. Right? That means reagents are of three types: oxidative reagents, reductive reagents, and CC bond forming reagents. Those are organometallic compounds. The third category of reagents is CC bond forming reagents. Those reagents are organometallic compounds. Our organometallic compounds are useful reagents in organic reactions through which we will utilize them for making CC bond formation in the organic reactions. Right? Organometallic compounds are very much important in CC bond formation. Right? Right. Synthetic uses of organometallic compounds. Like Grignard reagent. Grignard reagent is a organometallic compound. Right? Like Grignard reagent, organolithium compounds are very much useful to synthesize the variety of organic compounds. Right? Organolithium compounds have much resemblance with the organomagnesium compounds in the chemical properties. Of course, there are certain differences between the Grignard reagent and organolithium compounds, but majority of the reactions are same for the organolithium compounds when we compare with the organomagnesium compounds, except very few differences. Right? Why these differences between the alkyl lithium and alkyl magnesium halide? Even though these two are organometallic compounds, but due to the difference in the electronegativity of the magnesium and lithium atoms, there are certain differences in the properties of organomagnesium halide and as well as alkyl lithium. You see here in the picture, here the electronegativity of the carbon atom is 2.5, whereas for the magnesium it is 1.3, for lithium it is 0.98. right? In the alkyl magnesium bromide, if you see the bond between the carbon and magnesium, the electronegativity difference between the carbon and magnesium, here the carbon is 2.5, the magnesium is 1.3, the difference is 1.2, right? Whereas in the case of alkyl lithium, if you look at the bond between the carbon and lithium, the carbon is having electronegativity 2.5, lithium is having electronegativity 0.98. Here the difference is almost, it is 1.5. So if you look at the difference of electronegativity between the carbon and metal atom in Grignard reagent, it is less. Whereas in alkyl lithium, the difference between the electronegativity of carbon and lithium is more. So thereby we can say that the Grignard reagent is less reactive, less active, whereas alkyl lithium is more reactive, it is more active, right? Based on the electronegativity concept, we can say that alkyl lithium is more reactive, alkyl magnesium bromide is less reactive, right? Right. Now, just now we have seen the differences between the alkyl lithium and alkyl magnesium bromide, that is the electronegativity difference. Because of the difference in the electronegativity, alkyl lithium is more reactive, alkyl magnesium bromide is less reactive, right? And here the organolithium compounds resembles very much with the organomagnesium compounds in the chemical properties, except few differences. That means here the majority of the reactions, that is the organometallic compound properties, are classified or studied under two categories, that is resemblance with the Grignard reagent, and the second one is differences from the Grignard reagent, right? The first one is organolithium compound properties, which are resemblance with the Grignard reagent. Second one is organolithium compound properties, which are different from the Grignard reagent. Now let us discuss the first one, that is organolithium compound properties, which are in resemblance with the Grignard reagent, right? Resemblance with the Grignard reagent. You see the reactions of alkyl lithium which are in resemblance with the Grignard reagent one by one. The first one is preparation of hydrocarbons. Preparation of hydrocarbons. You see, the alkyl lithium is a good source of carbon anion. This carbon anion will act as a base and as well as nucleophile. But here in the case of preparation of hydrocarbons, if you look at this, our alkyl lithium act as a base. That means it will abstract the active hydrogen atoms from the water, alcohols, right? So here what happens? Our alkyl lithium R minus will act as a base and abstracts the proton from the water, thereby we will get the hydrocarbon. In this way we can prepare the desired hydrocarbons. In this reaction, our organometallic compound behave like a base. Similarly, our Grignard reagent, that is RMgBr, alkyl magnesium bromide, will also behave like a base with the water molecule, that is having active hydrogens in it to form hydrocarbons. In this way we can prepare the hydrocarbons using organometallic compounds, right? The second synthetic use is we can prepare the alcohols. If you look at this, we can prepare the primary alcohols using alkyl lithium as well as alkyl magnesium bromide, right? Here the reactant is formaldehyde. Here in this formaldehyde, our formaldehyde is having C double bond O attached to two hydrogen atoms. In this, the double bond is polar covalent bond, because the carbon oxygen, the oxygen is having more electronegativity, carbon is having less electronegativity. Here the double bond between the C double bond O will be shifted to oxygen atom, thereby the carbon gets positive charge, oxygen gets negative charge. Here our nucleophile, our organometallic compound will act as a nucleophile. From alkyl lithium we will get R minus nucleophile, which will add on the carbon atom of the formaldehyde, and the double bond is shifted to oxygen, oxygen gets negative charge. The O minus finally attached to lithium plus. You can see in the product. And this product, upon hydrolysis, we will get the primary alcohol. This is a primary alcohol because in this, if you look at the nature of the carbon atom attached to the hydroxy group, that is primary carbon because it is attached to only one alkyl group. Therefore, it is a primary alcohol. Similarly, our Grignard reagent will also undergo nucleophilic addition at formaldehyde carbon to give primary alcohol. This is a addition reaction, no doubt. If you see the first step, you will clearly see that R is attached to the carbon atom, lithium is attached to the oxygen atom. That means this is a addition reaction. And this addition reaction, if you see the mechanism, this addition reaction, in this addition reaction is initiated by nucleophile. Addition reactions which are initiated by nucleophile are called as nucleophilic addition reactions. So here is this is a nucleophilic addition reaction, right? And you can see here, we can also prepare the secondary alcohols using alkyl lithium and alkyl magnesium bromide. But in this we have to take aldehyde other than formaldehyde as a reactant. You see here, this is also same. In this, the first step, R minus nucleophile is added on the carbon atom of the aldehyde, and the double bond is shifted to oxygen atom, and the oxygen is added to lithium, which is further hydrolyzed to give secondary alcohol. The product formed in this reaction is secondary alcohol because here in this the hydroxy group attached to the secondary carbon. You see, the nature of carbon attached to the hydroxy group is secondary. The carbon is attached to further two alkyl groups. This is a secondary alcohol. We can also prepare the tertiary alcohols in this by taking keto as the reactant, right? Here the final product is tertiary alcohol. You see, this is a tertiary alcohol because here the hydroxy group attached carbon is tertiary. This carbon is further attached to three alkyl groups. This is a tertiary carbon and the alcohol is tertiary alcohol, right? If we use formaldehyde, we will get the primary alcohols, and if we use other aldehydes, we will get secondary alcohols. If we take ketones, then we will get the tertiary alcohols as the product. The third synthetic use is preparation of ethers. We can also prepare the ethers. In this, we have to take the chloroethers as the reactant. Here in this, if you look at the bond between the chloro and the carbon atom in chloroether group, the sigma bonded electrons are partially displaced towards chlorine. That is due to the negative inductive effect of chlorine atom. So here the carbon is of nucleophilic in nature, right? So here, electrophilic in nature. So here our alkyl lithium, in this, the R minus will act as a nucleophile and it will replace the Cl minus ion, Cl minus nucleophile in the chloroether. This is a nucleophilic substitution reaction. The previous one is nucleophilic addition reaction, whereas here it is nucleophilic substitution reaction. So thereby we will get the ether as the product. Similarly, the other synthetic use, if you look at here, we can also prepare the aldehydes. Here in this we have to take the hydrogen cyanide as the reactant. If you see here, the R minus from the alkyl lithium will act as a nucleophile and it will undergo addition at the carbon of the C triple bond N. Thereby the double bond is shifted to nitron atom, nitron gets negative charge which is attached to lithium, which will hydrolyze it to give imine. This imine further hydrolyze it to give aldehyde and ammonia. The alkyl magnesium bromide also undergo the reaction in the same way to give aldehyde as the product. Right? This is the nucleophilic addition reaction, because in this the addition reaction is initiated by the nucleophile. Similarly, we can also prepare the ketones, but here we have to take the alkyl cyanide as the reactant. Right? Same in this also, if you see, the first step addition of nucleophile, second step hydrolysis to give imine, third step hydrolysis to give keto as the product. Right? Coming to the other synthetic uses, we can also prepare the alkyl cyanides in which chlorocyanide is the reactant. This is an example of nucleophilic substitution reaction in which alkyl nucleophile replaces the chloronucleophile. And the last synthetic use is preparation of amines. In this, chloroamine is the reactant. Our R minus replaces the Cl minus. This is also an example of nucleophilic substitution reaction. Right? Right. Coming to the differences from the Grignard reagent. That means how the right. Coming to the reactions of organolithium compounds in which they differ from the Grignard reagent. This is the first difference, that is addition on carbon dioxide. Grignard reagent will add on the carbon dioxide in this way. You see here, the carbon anion from the Grignard reagent act as a nucleophile and add on the carbon atom of the carbon dioxide to give this product, that is carboxylic acid. Right? Whereas our alkyl lithium react differently to give keto as the product. The difference is due to the more reactivity of alkyl lithium. The alkyl lithium is more reactive because there is a difference in the electronegativity between the carbon and lithium. Right? Here if you see, our alkyl lithium add on the carbon dioxide to give lithium carboxylate in the first step. This will further undergo addition with the second alkyl lithium molecule because it is more reactive. Here in the case of Grignard reagent, only one Grignard added to the carbon dioxide, whereas in the case of alkyl lithium, two alkyl lithiums are added to the carbon dioxide to give the geminal diol. You see here geminal diol. Geminal diol is nothing but the compound having two hydroxy groups on the same carbon atom. That is called geminal diol. This is a very unstable diol. So it loses water molecule to give keto as the product. Right? This is the first difference between the alkyl lithium and alkyl magnesium bromide. Alkyl magnesium bromide gives carboxylic acid with the carbon dioxide, whereas alkyl lithium on addition with the carbon dioxide will get the keto as the product. Right? Coming to the addition on the olefinic double bonds. Unlike to the Grignard reagents, our organolithium compounds add on the double bonds, right? Our Grignard reagents do not undergo addition on the ethylenic double bonds, whereas our organolithium compounds undergo addition on the ethylenic double bonds. If you see the reaction, we can clearly see that there is the addition of alkyl lithium on the ethylenic double bonds. The addition takes place at higher pressure on simple olefins, but the addition takes place at atmospheric pressure on conjugated olefins. So in this way we can prepare the polymers, that is polyethylene, by using alkyl lithium. This is what about the addition on olefinic double bonds. We can polymerize the ethylene compounds using alkyl lithium. You can also see here another example in the red color, that is benzophenone. In this, the carbon keto group is attached to two bulky groups, two phenyl groups, bulky groups on either sides. Due to the bulkiness, there is a steric hindrance at the carbon atom. Our nucleophile, which is obtained from the alkyl lithium, can only attack at the keto carbon of the benzophenone. The other nucleophiles cannot approach the carbon of the benzophenone because of steric hindrance. For example, the Grignard reagent cannot add on the benzophenone carbon because of steric hindrance, whereas our alkyl lithium can easily add on the carbon of the benzophenone to give the tertiary alcohol. And the other example you can see in the blue color, that is the benzanilin, which is obtained by the condensation of benzaldehyde and aniline. This is called benzanilin. In this also, only alkyl lithium will undergo addition at this double bond to give the amine as the product, right? These reactions are obtained only by the alkyl lithium, right? The last difference between the Grignard reagent and the alkyl lithium is addition on the activated carbon of the aromatic systems. Organolithium compounds, unlike to the Grignard reagents, they add on the activated carbon atoms of the aromatic systems, which on hydrolysis give substitution products. Example you see here, pyridine. The double bond is shifted to the nitrogen, thereby the adjacent carbon gets positive charge. And the butyl lithium, here you see here, the butyl carbon anion act as a nucleophile which will undergo addition at this double bond to give the addition compound in the first step, which on further hydrolysis to give substituted product, that is alpha butyl pyridine. This is a nucleophilic substitution reaction, right? This is a nucleophilic substitution reaction. Coming to the other uses of organometallic compounds. You know, several organometallic compounds are used as catalyst in polymerization reactions. Some of the examples I have highlighted here, you can see here. The first one is butyl sodium. This is a organometallic compound. This is utilized, this is used as a catalyst in conversion of butadiene to Buna S rubber, right? Buna rubber. The second one, alkyl lithium. This is organometallic compound. We have already seen it is used as a catalyst in conversion of alkenes to the polymers, that is elastomers, right? Third one, trialkyl aluminum. This is a organometallic compound. This trialkyl aluminum along with the titanium tetrachloride is used as a catalyst. This is a named catalyst, that is Ziegler-Natta catalyst, very famous catalyst. This Ziegler-Natta catalyst is nothing but trialkyl aluminum plus titanium tetrachloride, which is useful in low temperature polymerization of alkenes. That means at low temperature itself we can polymerize the alkenes. The speciality of this reaction is we can prepare the desired stereochemical polymers of the alkenes. We can prepare the polymers stereochemically, selectively prepare our desired stereochemical polymers. That is the specialty of the Ziegler-Natta catalyst. And the fourth one is pi complex of ethylene with the palladium chloride. This is very much useful in production of acetaldehyde. The finally you can see here alkyl cobalt carbonyl. This is a organometallic compound formed during the conversion of alkenes to the alcohols in the manufacturing of detergents. This is useful during the manufacturing of detergents, right? These are the examples where we see our organometallic compounds act as a catalyst during the polymerization reactions. Coming to the other use, tetraethyl lead. It is the most important organometallic compound. It is added in small proportions to the petrol, some around 1 to 3 cubic centimeters per gallon of petrol. It is a anti-knocking agent. When we add small proportion of tetraethyl lead in the petrol, such petrol is commonly known as leaded petrol or ethyl petrol, right? The role of tetraethyl lead in leaded petrol is it works as a anti-knocking agent. And the last but not the least, it is very important application of organometallic compounds is medicinal application. That means our organometallic compounds are medicinally very important. You can see here some examples. That is mercurochrome. It is an antiseptic. It is used as an antiseptic. And the second one is salvarsan and neosalvarsan. These are used against the syphilis and other diseases, right? And if you try to summarize the important points what we have learned in this video presentation, if you try to recollect, the important points are the organometallic compounds are the very good source for carbon anion. This carbon anion act as a base as well as a nucleophile. These organometallic compounds are very much useful in organic reactions as a reagent in CC bond formation, and we are having other uses of organometallic compounds in catalysis as well as in medicinal point of view, right? Now I think you are feeling very comfort with the reactions which we have gone in this video presentation. If you have any doubts, you can post your questions in the comment section and your questions will be answered. Finally, thank you for going through the video presentation. Here is a proverb for you: nurture the nature for the future. Thank you.